I'm not dead. And I'm not just not dead, I'm perfectly fine. My eyebrows in particular are looking very lustrous. And the reason why I'm fine is because the doctors caught the prostate cancer early.
For years, Jeremy Clarkson has built a reputation for speaking his mind and laughing off life's challenges. But now, a shocking leak has thrown fans into complete disbelief. Reports suggest that details about his real medical condition may have surfaced, and the reaction has been nothing short of panic. Questions are spreading rapidly, and concern is growing with every new claim. So, what exactly did Clarkson's doctor allegedly reveal? And why are those closest to the TV legend said to be deeply worried about what comes next? But what could be Jerem's real diagnosis that has sent fans panicking? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. When farming met fragile life. For 5 years, millions of viewers have followed Clarkson's farm, expecting the same familiar mix of chaos, dry humor, and stubborn battles against nature. Rain that ruins plans, animals that refuse to cooperate, rules that seem written to make farming harder than it already is. And at the center of it all, Jeremy Clarkson, frustrated, sarcastic, often overwhelmed, but always determined to push through another season on Diddley Squat Farm. So when Season 5 approached its final episodes, no one expected the tone to change so sharply. Before the last episodes even reached Amazon Prime, Clarkson issued a rare and unsettling warning. This time, he told viewers not to expect jokes or light moments. The coming episodes, he said, would be really, really difficult. For a show built on laughter and frustration in equal measure, that statement felt unusual and heavy. He wasn't exaggerating. What began as a simple farm discussion about harvest plans with Caleb Cooper and Charlie Ireland quickly shifted into something far more serious. In the middle of an ordinary conversation, Clarkson's voice dropped. The room went still. "I've got cancer." Caleb stopped immediately, stunned. For a moment, there was disbelief hanging in the air. "No." "Yes," Clarkson replied quietly. The natural question followed at once. "Where?" Clarkson's answer was blunt and controlled. "Where it is of no concern to anybody. I've known since May." Doctors had discovered the illness after a biopsy. It was aggressive, and the news was frightening. But there was also a small comfort hidden inside the diagnosis. It had been caught early enough for treatment. Later, Clarkson revealed that around 10% of his prostate had been affected. Even with that knowledge, his mind did not drift far from the farm. His first concern was not fame or filming, but timing. He wanted to finish the harvest before anything interrupted the work they had fought so hard to complete. After months of effort, weather struggles, and delays, he hoped to see the season through first. But life did not wait for the perfect moment. The operation came right in the middle of harvest season. "I was praying we could get the harvest done first," he admitted later, reflecting on how quickly everything changed. As the season continued, viewers saw a version of Clarkson rarely witnessed before. The humor faded, the sarcasm softened, the usual energy gave way to something quieter, more vulnerable. At one point, the cameras showed him in a hospital bed, not on a tractor or in a field. Then came the words that left viewers around the world in silence. "Some of the treatment has gone awry. I'm going to be here for a little while. I don't know what's going to happen." After a pause, he added the line that stayed with many long after the episode ended. "What I wanted to say was, if this is all successful, I'll see you for Season 6, and if it isn't, I won't." Then, softly, "Take care, everyone." In that moment, Clarkson's farm stopped being just a story about farming. It became a story about life, fragility, and uncertainty. And for the first time since the series began, viewers weren't thinking about crops or harvests anymore. They were thinking about Jeremy himself. Could this be more than mere coincidence? Does it look related to the previous cancer record on Diddley Squat Farm? Let's delve into the details of the incredible connection nobody saw coming. When silence meets early detection. Looking back now, there is something almost hard to believe about this entire story. It feels like one of those strange twists of life that nobody could have planned, yet it unfolded right in front of the cameras. Because this is not the first time cancer has quietly appeared around Diddley Squat Farm. Longtime viewers of Clarkson's farm will remember Season 3, when Gerald Cooper, the quiet, hard-working farmhand with his thick West Country accent and gentle humor, shared news that shocked everyone. he had been diagnosed with prostate cancer. When Jeremy Clarkson first heard about it, he did not dress it up or soften it. He simply turned to the crew and said, almost in disbelief, "Gerald's got cancer." What followed became one of the most emotional and unexpected storylines in the entire series. Viewers who usually came for laughs and farm chaos suddenly found themselves watching a real human struggle unfold. Gerald went through treatment, carried on with his work when he could, and faced the journey with quiet strength. Many fans watched closely, hoping and praying for good news. And eventually, it came. By 2024, Gerald Cooper was declared cancer-free. It was a moment of relief not just for the farm team, but for viewers who had unknowingly become emotionally invested in his recovery. At the time, nobody could have imagined that only a short while later, Jeremy Clarkson himself would be facing the same illness. Two men, one farm, one disease. And suddenly, what began as a light-hearted television series about farming challenges, stubborn tractors, and rural chaos had grown into something deeper and far more meaningful than anyone expected. Across 5 seasons, Clarkson's farm has quietly become one of the most relatable public conversations about prostate cancer ever shown on mainstream television. This illness affects roughly 1 in 8 men in Britain. Each year, tens of thousands receive the diagnosis. What makes it especially dangerous is how quietly it develops. In many cases, there are no early warning signs. Men can feel completely fine until the disease is already advanced. That is why doctors consistently emphasize one message: early testing saves lives. Ironically, Jeremy Clarkson had been speaking about this long before his own diagnosis. On several occasions, he encouraged men, especially his friends and viewers, to get checked, sharing concerns about people he knew who had gone through similar battles. And those conversations may already have made a real difference. One viewer, Andrew Hood from North Devon, later explained that hearing Clarkson speak so openly pushed him to get medical checks he had been avoiding. That decision led him to take his health more seriously, so much so that he eventually ran a 34-mile ultramarathon finishing at Diddley Squat Farm, simply to say thank you. A television show influenced a medical decision. That single decision may have saved a life, and there may be many more unknown stories like his. Because when well-known voices speak honestly about serious issues, people listen in a different way. It cuts through fear, silence, and delay. Perhaps the most important legacy of this entire chapter will not be fame, ratings, or awards. Perhaps it will simply be this: more men choosing not to wait, not to ignore, and not to postpone a simple checkup. Because both Gerald Cooper and Jeremy Clarkson have, in their own way, shown the same quiet truth. Early detection truly changes everything. What exactly did Jeremy Clarkson's doctor leak about his real diagnosis? Could it be something scarier than the cancer itself? Let's find out what the doctor revealed about Jeremy's real diagnosis and the life-saving importance of early detection. Dr. Amir Khan's unsettling revelation. Recent comments from Dr. Amir Khan have brought renewed attention to Jeremy Clarkson's health journey, especially his battle with prostate cancer. The former Top Gear presenter, age 66, revealed that he had been diagnosed with an aggressive form of the disease. This revelation appeared during the emotional final episodes of Clarkson's Farm, leaving many viewers surprised and concerned. Dr. Amir explained that Clarkson's case shows how important early testing and quick action can be, as they can make the difference between life and death. According to Dr. Amir, prostate cancer is often a silent illness in its early stages. Many men may not notice any clear signs until the disease has already developed. When symptoms do appear, they can include changes in urination, weak urine flow, difficulty emptying the bladder, blood in urine or semen, pain in the lower back or hips, sudden weight loss, and problems with sexual function. He stressed that these symptoms do not always mean cancer, but they should always be checked by a doctor without delay. Clarkson shared that his cancer was discovered during routine medical tests and confirmed through a biopsy. Thankfully, doctors were able to identify it early enough to carry out surgery and remove the affected part of his prostate before the disease could spread further. Following the treatment, he described himself as the world's luckiest man and confirmed that he is now in remission and recovering well. Dr. Amir used Clarkson's experience as an important lesson for the public. He encouraged men, especially those over 50 or those with family history, to take regular PSA blood tests and medical checkups seriously. He explained that early detection greatly improves the chances of successful treatment and can prevent the cancer from becoming life-threatening. Rather than causing fear, Clarkson's story should encourage awareness, responsibility, and hope. Medical experts also highlight that prostate cancer is one of the most common cancers affecting men worldwide, especially in older age groups. They advise that awareness campaigns, open conversations about men's health, and reduced stigma around screening can help more people seek early diagnosis and treatment without fear or embarrassment. In many cases, catching the disease early not only improves survival rates, but also allows less aggressive treatment options and faster recovery for patients. This is why doctors continue to urge men not to ignore small bodily changes, as timely medical attention remains one of the strongest tools against prostate cancer progression. Clarkson's journey reinforces hope and the importance of regular health checks for men. What happens to Diddy Squat Farm now? Does Diddy Squat Farm have the capacity to push forth in Jeremy's absence? Let's dive into the details of the future of Clarkson's farm, which seems to hang in the balance. A farm built on friendship. Naturally, fans everywhere are asking the same question: what happens next? Thankfully, Amazon has already confirmed that Season 6 is coming. Production is expected to continue, and Clarkson himself offered a hopeful message from his hospital bed. "If this is all successful, I'll see you for Season 6. But behind those words lies a much deeper reality. Diddley Squat Farm is no longer just a field with sheep and tractors. It has become an empire. Hawkstone Brewery now operates independently and supplies more than 2,000 pubs. The Farmer's Dog Pub has established itself as a successful business. These ventures can continue operating regardless of whether cameras are filming. But the farm itself is different. The land depends heavily on Jeremy Clarkson, and Clarkson himself admitted something surprising earlier this season. Without the television show, the farm would struggle to survive financially. In other words, the land needs the show, and the show needs Jeremy. Thankfully, he isn't facing this battle alone. Standing beside him are the same people viewers have grown to love: Lisa Hogan, Charlie Ireland, Gerald Cooper, and perhaps most importantly, Caleb Cooper. The young farmer who once appeared simply to correct Clarkson's mistakes has gradually become one of the biggest stars of the series. Over the years, he has built his own businesses, expanded his media career, and grown into a respected figure in British agriculture. If anyone is prepared to shoulder greater responsibility while Clarkson recovers, it is the people who were sitting beside him when he shared his diagnosis. Because Clarkson's farm was never really about tractors, or cows, or crops. At its heart, it has always been about friendship, about perseverance, about ordinary people facing extraordinary challenges together. Which is why millions of fans are no longer concerned only about Season 6. They are hoping for something far more important. They are hoping to see Jeremy Clarkson healthy again. And perhaps there is one final lesson hidden inside this difficult chapter. If you're over 50, if prostate cancer runs in your family, or if you've simply delayed getting checked because life has been busy, the stories of Jeremy Clarkson and Gerald Cooper carry the same message. Don't wait. A simple conversation with your doctor, a routine PSA blood test, a check you've been meaning to arrange. Those small decisions can become life-changing decisions. For 5 years, viewers have followed Jeremy Clarkson through failed crops, impossible weather, runaway sheep, and endless disasters. But today, millions of people around the world are united by one hope above all others: that one day soon, Jeremy Clarkson will walk back onto Diddley Squat Farm, look into the camera with that familiar grin, and say once again, "Right then, let's get on with it." How severe is Jeremy Clarkson's condition? What are his chances of survival? Let's dig into the details of Jeremy Clarkson's remission after the prostate cancer wake-up call. Clarkson's cancer wake-up journey. Jeremy Clarkson has shared that he is now in remission after being diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. He described the whole experience as a serious wake-up call that forced him to rethink his health, habits, and daily choices. The diagnosis was first made public during the 5th season of Clarkson's Farm, where he explained that the illness was discovered during routine medical tests. A simple PSA blood test played a key role in spotting the cancer early, which allowed doctors to treat it quickly and greatly improved his chances of recovery. He later revealed that he underwent surgery to remove part of his prostate, with about 10% of the organ affected by cancer. Around the same period, he also dealt with heart-related surgery for blocked arteries, making it a very difficult phase in his life with multiple health challenges arriving close together. After treatment, follow-up tests showed no remaining signs of cancer, leading doctors to confirm that he was in remission. However, he remains aware that prostate cancer can sometimes return, so he continues to go for regular checkups and blood tests to monitor his condition closely. Clarkson has since spoken openly about his experience, encouraging men everywhere to take prostate screening seriously. He stresses that simple tests can save lives, especially when the disease is caught early before it spreads. His honesty has helped raise awareness about prostate cancer and the importance of early detection. Looking back, he says he feels fortunate and more grateful for life. The experience changed how he sees his health and future, making him more careful about how he lives each day. Despite everything, he has returned to work and continues filming, but now with a stronger focus on maintaining his well-being and staying alert to any health warnings. Beyond his personal recovery, Clarkson has also used his platform to speak to wider audiences about men's health issues that are often ignored or delayed due to fear or embarrassment. His message is simple but powerful. Early checks and honest conversations with doctors can make a major difference in survival and long-term health. He hopes that by sharing his story, more men will take action early, seek medical advice without delay, and prioritize their health before it becomes a crisis, reminding everyone that life can change quickly, but awareness and timely care can save lives and bring hope for the future. Clarkson continues recovery with gratitude, careful monitoring, renewed focus, and appreciation for every ordinary day ahead in his life now. Does Jeremy really matter to such an extent that his fans panic over his safety? How did Jeremy Clarkson rise to become a global icon? Let's talk about how Jeremy Clarkson built an empire beyond Top Gear. Jeremy Clarkson's constant reinvention journey. Long before he became one of the most recognizable faces on television, Jeremy Clarkson was simply a young journalist working in Northern England. Few could have predicted that the outspoken reporter would go on to become one of Britain's most influential and controversial broadcasters. His breakthrough came in 1988 when he joined the original Top Gear, a role that turned him into a household name and introduced audiences to his sharp mix of wit, sarcasm, and honest opinions. By the mid-1990s, Clarkson had become more than a motoring presenter. He moved into documentaries, engineering shows, history specials, and even hosted the first series of Robot Wars. His fame kept growing through his own BBC talk show, Clarkson, strengthening his place as a major television figure. In 2002, with producer Andy Willman, Clarkson helped reshape Top Gear. Alongside Richard Hammond and James May, he created a program that became the world's most watched factual TV show. Their chemistry and humor attracted millions. In 2015, his BBC career ended suddenly after an incident with a producer led to his contract not being renewed. Instead of disappearing, he reinvented himself again. Reuniting with Hammond, May, and Willman, he launched the Grand Tour on Amazon Prime, showing his appeal was still strong. His newspaper columns stayed popular, though often debated for their bold tone. In 2019, he surprised many by becoming a farmer on Clarkson's farm, which became a global hit and changed public views on agriculture. It even influenced policy discussions, with new farming rules linked to his work emerging later. From journalist to TV star to farmer, his journey shows constant reinvention and surprising success. Each stage of his career showed a willingness to take risks and challenge expectations in media and entertainment. Audiences often disagreed with his strong opinions, yet they continued to watch because he always spoke directly and entertainingly. His success was not built on perfection, but on bold ideas and fearless presentation. Even when controversies followed him, he used them as fuel for new opportunities in broadcasting and writing projects that kept him relevant for decades across changing media landscapes. Today, he remains one of the most talked about figures in British television history, an ability to evolve with time while still staying true to his distinctive personality and storytelling style. His journey continues to inspire debate across audiences worldwide who follow his ongoing projects and evolving public life with interest and curiosity about what he will do next. Is this the first time Jeremy would experience a deadly diagnosis? How did he make it? Let's delve into the details of Jeremy Clark's remarkable scares. Clarkson's health scares and reality. Jeremy Clarkson has never been shy about his unhealthy habits or his long-known love for cigarettes. But over the years, two serious health scares, separated by time, forced the outspoken TV star to think more deeply about his own life and mortality than ever before. In August 2017, during what was meant to be a calm family holiday in Mallorca, Spain, Clarkson suddenly became very ill with pneumonia. His condition worsened quickly, and he had to be rushed to hospital, where doctors treated him as a serious case. Because of the severity, he even received care outside the UK, which worried his family, friends, and millions of fans who followed his career. Yet he recovered, and, in true Clarkson style, turned the frightening moment into humor and defiance. He openly joked about his decades of heavy smoking, which he said may have reached nearly 750,000 cigarettes over his lifetime. Despite the scare, he claimed his lungs were still surprisingly strong, saying medical tests showed about 96% capacity for his age. With his usual sarcasm, he joked that he had somehow turning a dangerous health warning into another example of his bold personality. In October 2024, Clarkson later revealed in his Sunday Times column that he faced another serious health issue after returning from a holiday in the Indian Ocean. He suddenly felt unwell, and his condition worsened enough to require urgent medical checks. Doctors at the John Radcliffe Hospital in Oxford found a blockage that needed immediate attention, and he underwent a procedure where a stent was fitted to improve blood flow and protect his heart. The experience was a sobering reminder that age and health challenges cannot be ignored forever, no matter how tough a person may seem. These health scares served as powerful reminders that even someone as strong and outspoken as Clarkson is not immune to the effects of time and lifestyle choices. After years of ignoring medical warnings, he was eventually forced to face the reality that the body always keeps score. Still, he continues to face life with humor, honesty, and his familiar sharp wit, even when dealing with serious health challenges. His journey shows that no matter how tough or carefree a person appears, life can change quickly, and health should never be taken for granted in the long run, and awareness becomes essential for everyone as they grow older in life. His story continues to remind audiences that balance, health awareness, and responsible living always matter. Does Clarkson seem to get support from family? Does he have any? What does his personal life look like? Let's dig into the details of Jeremy Clarkson's personal life. Clarkson's life of fame, turmoil, growth. Jeremy Clarkson's private life has often been just as loud, dramatic, and talked about as his long career on television. It has been a story filled with fast changes, strong emotions, and moments that often played out in the public eye rather than behind closed doors. In 1989, he entered into marriage with Alex Hall, a relationship that quickly became a painful early turning point. Within just 6 months, the marriage fell apart after she left him for one of his friends. The split was sudden and widely noticed, marking one of the first times Clarkson's personal life drew major public attention and hinting at how turbulent things could become beyond the screen. A few years later, in May 1993, Clarkson experienced a very different chapter when he married Frances Kane, who also worked as his manager. She was the daughter of Victoria Cross recipient Robert Henry Kane, and together they built a long family life that brought 3 children. For many years, this marriage appeared steady and grounded. Kane became known for her thoughtful, sometimes extravagant gestures, especially her love of gifting Clarkson unique cars, one of the most famous being a Mercedes-Benz 600 given to him as a Christmas present in 2007. Despite this long partnership, the marriage eventually came to an end in 2014 after more than 2 decades together. Clarkson's life outside relationships has also been marked by physical challenges and public controversy. In 2005, while filming Top Gear, he suffered serious back injuries after pushing a TVR Sagaris too hard during testing. The injury left him with slipped discs and forced him into months of recovery, keeping him away from driving and filming for half a year. Around the same period, he became involved in a bitter legal dispute over a public footpath near his home on the Isle of Man Lighthouse Estate. The issue, tied to livestock movement and claims involving sheep being harmed by dogs, escalated into a long-running legal case. Eventually, the decision went against him, and he was required to reopen access to the path following a high court ruling. Beyond controversy, Clarkson also shows a more personal and reflective side. He is a devoted fan of the band Genesis, even attending their 2007 reunion concert and contributing written notes to a reissued album. He also shares a close bond with his son through their mutual support for Chelsea Football Club, revealing a quieter, family-oriented dimension. In recent years, his life has taken new turns. Since 2017, he has been in a relationship with Irish writer and former actress Lisa Hogan, who also appears in Clarkson's farm. He lives in Chadlington, Oxfordshire, and is part of the well-known Chipping Norton social circle. In 2020, he marked his 60th birthday by buying himself a Bentley Flying Spur. More recently, Clarkson expanded into hospitality with the launch of the Farmer's Dog Pub in 2024, connected to his farming ventures. The pub has also reflected his outspoken personality, with controversial decisions such as banning certain political and public figures, further reinforcing his image as a man who continues to mix celebrity life, business ambition, and unfiltered opinion in a very public way. So, what do you think about the doctor's revelation? Do you really think Diddy Squat Farm can survive behind Jeremy Clarkson? We'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe.